Hi, my name is Julia Yang, and I am a second-year mentor for the Apathon. So in this video, I will be discussing Flowlab, which is a website where you can make platform-style games. And so platform-style games include those such as Super Mario Bros., Sonic the Hedgehog, or Donkey Kong. So obviously, platform-style games are the ones that are most easy to make on here, but there are individuals that have taken it to the next level, such as making Pokemon style games where you can interact with characters and speak to them. So on the games tab, you can see a lot of different variations of games that people have created. So I will be showing a demo of a short game that I've created, and this is just a level screen, so I'm just going to enter level 1. And so from here, I just have a little protagonist that collects boxes, and that makes a level, the points go up. And here you can see that there are spikes on the bottom, and if the sprite falls onto that, it will restart the level. And there's an enemy that if it collides with from either the left or right, it will die. And I just want to show that you can create another level that it can extend to. So here in the editor, each block represents something where you can create something in it. And so here is our protagonists, right? And there are options that you can modify in the behaviors. So basically the main coding portion is through these blocks that you connect with this wiring. And so over on the left side, I just have the keys that help the sprite move around so that it can pick up the key and enter the next level. I just also have a standalone label block so that I have that text that goes through the middle of the screen. And here I have the mailbox function, which is really similar to the broadcast function if you've ever used Scratch. And it basically sends a message to either the sprite or any other sprite that lets them know when to do something. And here we also have 2 chests that correspond to entering the next levels. And since it's already coded into the protagonist sprite, it just has a label behavior right now that creates that level 1 text under the bottom. And so for level 2 chest, it was being a little finicky with entering the next level, so I just had it receive another message to this sprite that will help enter the page into the next level, and there's also a label. And for the key, the only block that it has is it will remove itself once the protagonist collides with that sprite. And now I'm just going to load up the next level, which is through this middle button. And here we have our screen where you can see that you can build past the main portion of the screen where the camera is going to be starting off at. And so there are 2 behavior bundle blocks that are pre-made that I've put in here, which is the camera function that tracks the player, and also the run and jump function, which controls how it moves. This is just using the arrow keys. And also we have a collision where once it collides with the ending platform, which will be at the very right of the screen, it's going to take it to the next level. And also we have a text that changes that number at the very upper left corner, which is going to go up whenever the player collides with one of those yellow boxes. And so you can see that the camera has to be extended to reach the full screen, or else it will not be able to track through the full extent of the game. And you can see that I've checked these boxes such as is movable, is solid. You can control the gravity. There's a lot of customizable functions. And so for all these blocks, you can see that they're very easily clonable. And since they're just blocks, they don't have any behavior functions at all. But here for these spikes, you can see that since they are going to kill the player, it will restart the game once it collides. And that's just what the door block means. And also over here we have our enemy, which is going to pace back and forth between those 2 blocks. And so what I've basically done is when it collides with the player, it's going to delete itself. The velocity is always going to be 3. And when it collides with one of the walls, the enemy is just going to flip around. And so another way that I tried, which actually doesn't work, which is on the side, which is something that I want to demonstrate, is that you can't have the enemy just pace by itself without the blocks to trap itself, because I tried using it by testing for the X position, but it is quite tedious and it doesn't work out in the end because it's really difficult to determine the pixel location of where the enemy sprite is, and it generally is just easier to put walls on the side so that it can detect whether the sprite is touching that wall or not. So this is just a long extended block of something that does not work, and what a much shorter way of doing it is what I have shown on the left. And so as we extend our screen to the right, we can see that you can just keep on building further and further, and the camera will continue to track on as long as you have that behavior bundle. And so this is the ending platform, and you can see that I have put in the type as something different so that I'm able to easily recognize it when I put it in as a block. And so now I'm just going to move on to level 2. It's really just a basic block format where I just want to show that you can create multiple levels and have an ending platform that extends into another level. And here I have just created a sprite that you can move around. I just added in the camera behavior bundle and the run and jump. And those are just 2 blocks that you can just very easily put in. And so to make sure that the player does not fall through the screen, because if you do not put that floor at the bottom, it will just continue to fall forever and you'll never be able to get back up. So I've just put that floor on the bottom so that the camera blocks that off and it acts as a floor. So that's basically the extent of my demo. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see your creations.